Congrats to Kiki Berkins, and now the stage is set for the men's championship in the Western and Southern Open. The 46th battle between Novak Djokovic, seeking his first Cincy title in his 6th final, and Roger Federer, 8-time champion if he can get the job done today. Chris Fowler, Brad Gilbert. Hello, hello. We're in a place called Vertigo. We're 5 floors above the baseline. It's the biggest, highest booth in tennis, and it's a great vantage point, Brad. Electric environment behind us here because Novak and Roger have not played in 31 months since the Aussie Open in 2016, so it's a real treat for fans.
I mean, since the first time they played way back 12 years ago, I mean, they've played every year and lots of times since then. So 31 months, it'll feel like, you know, a little feeling out process, and neither one of them have played great tennis to get to the final. I think that's a good sign. Hot conditions, and Roger has been unbreakable in this tournament. Yeah, the serve has been carrying him. Roger told us after his win last night, though, he's not exactly sure what to expect from himself, from Novak. For Novak, every day is a winding road. He's made nothing simple or straightforward about his matches here. He's played 4 consecutive 3-setters. His play has dipped. It has peaked, but it's peaked at the right time in the final sets. I like how Roger told us yesterday, well, he's going for history, trying to win all the 9. I'm going for 99. A lot to play for. I think that there'll be a massive crowd support for Roger, and I think that he will try to elevate his game, and I think he's going to try to make the points quick and really take it to Novak as much as he can. And if Novak's second serve was like it was yesterday in the low 70s, expect him to take some rips, but that's been the one trouble shot for Roger throughout this tournament, his return to serve. Let's show you Novak's winding journey to this championship match. He lost the first set to Manarino, turned that around. It was a 3-set match against Dimitrov, had to play 8 games on the same day that he took on Milos Raonic, and you can see the frustration just boiling over. He got down a break in all 3 sets against Milos and then came back and won 2 of the 3. Yeah, he had to show a lot of resolve, especially the way Milos was serving. Look, it took him 3 passes to get it done, but he gets it done. And then he would take on Marin Cilic, the champion here from a couple of years ago. And Cilic came out with a hyper-aggressive style. And this one would also go the distance. And it was a similar type of match where there was up and down periods. But once again, when Novak needed to find his game in that 3rd set, he was battling himself. No yellow card this time for having 3 smacks to break a racket. He just whacks the towel. But he was able to come up with some big shots. This pass right here, the forehand dropped on the line and break point. That was the biggest shot of the match, and it set up this game serving it out. Yeah, and his forehand had been a little bit scratchy the first 2 sets, got way better in the 3rd along with his serve. So he'll chase history today. No one has won all 9 of the Masters 1000 events. Ivan Lendl did hold all 9 when, in his day, was in Stockholm at the end of the year. But you add that to a career slam for Djokovic, and even Roger said that's an incredible achievement if he can do it. I'm glad that you mentioned Lendl, because I was thinking about that last night. He must have done it, and then you're right, Stockholm became what Madrid is today. But it's an amazing effort for Novak, because he can play, obviously, on any surface. And I think there will be some tension, because this is a match both want to win heading into New York. And as for Federer, didn't have his best level of play last night. Didn't need it because David Goffin retired in the 3rd game of the 2nd set with a shoulder problem. The battle against Stan was interesting. Wawrinka is kind of rebuilding his ranking, rebuilding his confidence. Stan in with a real chance. This is a quarterfinal that went the distance. It was interrupted after a couple of tiebreaks by a lightning delay. It finished about midnight. Federer, the shocking miss there, cost him this 1st set. Yeah, the first 2 sets, even though the guys didn't serve a high percentage, they completely dominated, and it was just a couple of bad decisions at the end of the 2nd set for Stan trying to pull trigger. But after that thunder delay, they came back on the court. Roger played much better and got 2 breaks in that final set. Really got the crowd pumped up. Yeah, Stan was within 2 points of winning the match at 6-all in the breaker. He stayed off the court for about 30-35 minutes, and then late at night, it was Federer able to start sharply. It was Wawrinka who got frustrated, and Roger makes it 21-3.
against his good buddy head-to-head.
Yeah, to me, I think both players thought that they would not come back on the court. They were surprised it didn't rain, and when they came back for that restart, Roger was a lot more prepared and ready. And I thought yesterday, same kind of a match, a little bit against Stan, struggled with the return, but still, amazingly, when he's not playing well, he's able to keep contact with the match by holding serve. He's been invincible here since 2014, holding serve.
97 straight holds. This is a successful tournament for Federer because guys like Djokovic and others feel he plays this tournament more aggressively than any other. It's hard to control the ball. The court is very fast, and Roger plays brilliant fast court tennis, so Djokovic is prepared, I think, for more of the same as he tries to finally get his hands on this beautiful trophy for the first time.
Yeah, and 3 times that he's lost to him here in the final, he's really struggled to break Roger's serve. And in other events, that hasn't been the case. But here, very difficult.
Yeah, each of these 3 finals between the two, and they played every 3 years now, has featured 1 tight set and 1 lopsided set for Federer. Let's hear from both players here. Darren Cahill is with Novak.
Novak, a special day for the fans and for all of us today to have a Djokovic-Federer final. How special is it for you to play Roger in another final?
It always is. We haven't played each other for a while. Look forward to it. It's one of the greatest challenges that I can personally have in tennis.
And you've had to work really hard for all your matches so far this week. Tactics change at all for this final?
Of course they do. I mean, it's Roger. He plays very quick, very fast. He comes, comes to the net often, and these conditions are quite suitable to his style of the game. And I lost to him in, I think, 3 finals here previously. So hopefully I can have a better result this time.
You're playing great. Good luck here.
Cheers. Thank you.
And we bring out Roger Federer, the #2 ranked player in the world, back into another final. It feels like your backyard court here. You play such great tennis, a great feeling for you to come back and play another final.
Yeah, that's very exciting to be back in other finals, having not played before this tournament for a few weeks, so it's nice to get back in the grind of the matches, and it's been a busy week, I think, for both of us, so we're excited that it's our last one.
And it looked like the last 5 or 6 games of last night's match against David Goffin, you really started to time the ball well. More of that attacking tennis tonight?
Well, I think because it's a day session and I think the conditions play a bit faster, maybe also rallies will be shorter, I'm not sure. But then again, Novak's the best defender maybe in the world we have right now in the game, so that extends the rally potentially. I mean, I'm excited to see how it's going to play out. We haven't played each other for a long time, which I think is quite refreshing for both of us.
We're excited. So good luck today.
Me too, don't worry. Yeah, thank you.
Well, both guys mentioned the speed of the court and the conditions. Federer, even if he doesn't have the A game, Brad, as long as he's got that serve, still very tough to handle.
Yeah, and that will be definitely his point of thought. Hold my serve, put pressure on by holding serve.
How much crowd support will Djokovic be able to muster today? Federer, enormously successful and enormously popular here in Cincinnati.
From Switzerland, Roger Federer.
You mentioned the 99. Roger's aware of it. This would be his 99th career title and would set him up for the chance to go for 100 at the U.S. Open.
Fed fans are massively aware of that.
So, a coveted Masters 1000 title, and each man chasing their own piece of history. Federer and Djokovic for the 46th time and the 4th time here in the Cincy final. Next.
Adults are just kids with much, much better toys. The C-Class sedan, coupe, and cabriolet. The thrills keep getting better. The 2018 C-Class sedan starting at $40,250. Mercedes-Benz, the best or nothing.
I just hope to leave a legacy behind, not for me personally, but for the game. It's about keeping traditions alive, the artistry, the beauty of the sport, and inspiring the next generation to keep moving tennis in the right direction. No matter how much success you have, it's important to look to the future. I want to make this sport the best it can be.
We're proud to bring you the Western and Southern Open, a tournament that has helped fund world-class expertise for cancer care and children's health care in Cincinnati.
As the tournament has become one of the top tennis events in the world, Cincinnati has become one of the top Renaissance cities in America, with dramatic development downtown and across the region.
Cincinnati's getting things done. Come see why we think it's the best city in America to live, work, and play.
Remember when you weren't supposed to sit too close to the screen? And video games were antisocial? TV was in the den? And loud music was for the basement? The future is fun, like crazy fun. And Spectrum's fiber-powered network is ready for it. No matter what VR, 8K, 3D entertainment the world comes up with. Are you ready for what's next? Spectrum. Think full.
Baby girl was born.
Helen's here. She's already in charge.
Take me home.
HGTV is family and home. We really get to do what we love and show it to the world.
Home and family and a sense of place. The best things in the world are on HGTV.
Oh, won't you take me home?
With Car Gurus, you don't have to know cars to know what really matters about a car.
What are we looking at?
Emma's new car.
Well, used. It's the silver one. Nice. Lunar silver or modern steel?
I don't know which silver exactly, but I use Car Gurus. They give you dealer reviews, each used car gets a deal rating, and they sort the best deals first. And that was a great deal.
Somebody get a promotion or something?
Go to Car Gurus today to find great deals from top-rated dealers near you.
ESPN's presentation of the Western and Southern Open is brought to you by Western and Southern. Talk to a financial translator today. USTA. Find expert tips to improve your tennis game, programs, and places to play at USTA.com. And Rolex, official partner of the US Open.
After a soggy week, just a beautiful Sunday here, 83 degrees, sunny skies, and the stage is set. Djokovic and Federer. It's the first all-big final of the year. The last was Federer over Nadal in Shanghai at the end of last year. And again, the first meeting between these two guys in more than 2.5 years. Fourth encounter here in Cincy, Brad. Pumped up?
I'm extremely fired up. And if Djoker were to win this today, the big three would be back in the top 3 rankings on the year-end race. And you know that Djokovic wants to make a statement. Both do today.
Well, the win by Federer here in the 2015 final, that was the last win outdoors over Djokovic. He won a couple of times at the ATP finals, or won once there. And then the Australian Open, that match that was 2.5 years ago, was Djokovic coming out and playing brilliant tennis early. He won the first couple sets, 6-1 and 6-2 over Federer.
This was in Novak was at the highest level, and Roger had to play phenomenal. He actually did well to just get back in this match, but the defending ability from Djokovic on this evening was just off the charts. Any time that Roger didn't attack, he was in trouble.
Of course, down in Australia, Rod Laver Arena, perhaps Novak's favorite court. It's been his most successful. He's talked about the challenge of translating what works in Melbourne to the faster conditions of Cincinnati. Overall in majors, 9-6 for Djokovic. They're tied in Masters 1000 events. In finals, Djokovic leads 11-6, but it's Federer 3-0 right here.
Amazingly that Djokovic caught both Federer and Nadal, because early in his career, he was way behind in the head-to-head to both of them.
What's interesting is this is the second most played rivalry in men's tennis in the Open era after Djokovic versus Nadal. And at Wimbledon in the semi, had Nadal won, he would have drawn even in a head-to-head. Now it's Federer that has that same opportunity this afternoon.
It's incredible. He's played, I believe, almost 10% of all of his matches in his career against these two guys. I mean, he's played these two guys. This is what, the 97th meeting between playing these two guys.
10% against the two legends.
That's insane. That's an incredible number.
Let's show you the three previous finals here in Cincinnati. The first in 2009, Federer came out and he just blitzed. He made it a blur in the first set. He won it 6-1. And it's exactly the kind of tempo that Djokovic is very uncomfortable with. The second set was tighter, but there's match point.
Yeah, playing fast and dominating his serve. That's been the key when he's played here against Djokovic. Dominating his serve, getting quick holds, and playing fast tempo. And I expect that that's what he's going to want to do today, play at that very fast tempo and attack short ball.
This is a fast first set. 3 years later in 2012, it was 6-love and then 7-6. In 2015, Djokovic wasn't at 100%. You see the sneak attack by Federer. He was doing it a lot. Novak was frustrated. He had sort of an abdominal issue. He was banged up.
Yeah, he wasn't anywhere near 100%, and Roger took full advantage.
But Djokovic would get his revenge at the U.S. Open a couple of weeks later in that final. You got 9 different passport stamps you have to collect. They used to be called the Super 9 back in the day, then the Masters, and now the Masters 1000 events. Cincinnati, the one jewel that he doesn't have, and he's got at least 2 of the other 8. So that is the piece of history that Djokovic can complete today. It is a staggering potential milestone. Darren Cahill, we hope not staggering. Off the coaching box, Simona Halep, a game effort in getting the runner-up trophy today. Killer, what's your take on this final, though?
Well, looking forward to it, of course, Chris, like everybody else. We've probably got about a half an hour or so before the sun drops behind the grandstand behind me, and there'll be a little bit of shade on Novak Djokovic's side of the court, and that's going to give the players much needed relief. It is the hottest time of the day now, just after 4 o'clock, approaching 5 o'clock here in Cincinnati. But again, I think Novak, when he's had success against Federer, he's taken Federer wide to the forehand side with either the forehand cross or the backhand down the line. We'll look to see if he does a little bit of that today. I'm pretty sure he'll be aggressive with that tactic. A lot, of course, depends on the Federer serve. Will he get those 3 points on that first serve? And how aggressive will he be on the returner serve, especially Novak's second serve? This is a perfect court for Federer. I expect him to come out and really play aggressive tennis from the start.
Djokovic has faced the monster serving of Raonic, who was serving so many over 140. He was serving second serves in the 130s, and then dealt with the serve of Cilic. But as Brad, as you said, Federer unbreakable here in 97 consecutive service games. The championship at Cincy. Settle in and enjoy. Fast break offense right from the start.
I know there's always going to be a lot of Federer fans in any stadium that he plays around the world, but a lot of Serbians in here today. They got into a little bit of a chanting match during the warm-up.
Novak needs all the support he can get here.
Djokovic obviously faced bigger server in Raonic and Cilic a big server, but Roger a different player after the first shot off the serve that by far than those 2 players.
Both engaged right from the opening game, and Djokovic has an early break opportunity.
Roger opened the door a little bit on the 30 love point, and what a passing shot from that position to get the ball below the net.
Remember Federer in the final here 4 years ago. He didn't play a couple of those years. The last time Federer broke it in Cincinnati. Djokovic was leaning the right way, but got handcuffed by that serve.
It's almost like he moved a little smidget too early.
He dealt with the first break point that he'd faced since his opening match here this week very well.
Just routine. That's where Novak has to make progress on the second serve returns. Take the lead.
It was second serve and volley. And Novak made it a tough volley, and now another break point.
He flew in there and just kind of jammed himself. Throws the kick toss. You think he's going to hit that kicker, and then the slider up the middle.
Slider at 120. The serve clock's not going to come into play much when Federer's on the line. Serve that at 21, and the clock starts at 25. So Roger able to swat aside a pair of break points. Here's Djokovic on the first meeting between these two guys in 2.5 years.
We haven't played each other for quite some time, which is unusual because I'm used to playing Roger. You know, over the course of almost 10 years, I've played him so many times. I mean, played him the most after the rivalry with Nadal. And he has influenced greatly the rivalry with him, and him personally has influenced my evolution of my game. So I mean, that would be it would be the greatest challenge in Cincinnati without a doubt in many tournaments, but especially here because he's been dominating this tournament historically, and he won against me several times in the finals. So you know, obviously he feels great on these conditions and this surface. But you know, obviously he has to win his semifinals, and you know, we'll see what happens tomorrow.
The greatest challenge in tennis, he believes it's right up there with beating Nadal at the French Open, is beating Federer on this court. Interesting.
Darren, how's the wind down on the court? You can see up top the flags are moving.
It's a little bit like you said last night, Brad. It's pretty well protected down here, and the player's not dealing with too much of a breeze.
.102 on the second, and we saw against Cilic lots of second serves in the low 70s. So that's a big adjustment, surely, that Marian Vida talked about. Be aggressive on your second.
We'll talk a lot about Djokovic's serve. He gave some interesting answers after the win over Cilic, because the second serve has been pretty fragile at times here this week. Untimely double faults, and as you said, a lot of really off-speed second serves. Much better today. He knows he has to raise that game. The serve he felt was very good at Wimbledon. It served him well with some free points when he really needed them en route to his 4th title there. But he still thinks the elbow surgery has messed up the rhythm. It's a work in progress, in his words. He hopes to get the velocity back where it was before, where he thinks it can be. He'd like to have that by the U.S. Open if possible.
Mr. Federer showing the call on the left baseline.
He's pointing to a mark well long.
It's often the toughest line to see. Federer has an excellent percentage when he challenges, though, and right at his feet, he had sharp eyes.
He's got to win more challenges than anybody. He must have like 20/10 vision.
Most tennis players have really good vision. So, Darren, at this point in the day, the sun is not really a problem for the server?
No, not for the server. You can see that shade just coming across the court now on Federer's side, which actually gives the players a little bit of a relief, but it's still very tough conditions for both guys.
So what do you think, about 30-40 minutes, the entire court will be in shade?
Exactly.
Terrific rally. You expect that from these two. Djokovic was behind at the point, then he got ahead of the point, and then Federer found his way back in.
That's as good as I've seen Roger move all tournament. He got taken wide to the forehand, busted up to the line, and then got right back in the point. That was beautiful. Looks much sharper with his movement than we've seen the last couple of matches.
I thought it was sluggish after playing 2 matches in one day to come back against Goffin last night. Beautiful. Yeah, you're right. He knows he's going to have all the movement that he can manage at age 37 to win this one on serve early stages.
We've been building this for the last 50 years. The 2018 U.S. Open, built.
Tired of lugging around big bags of pet food and litter? Get it delivered. Chewy.com delivers everything your pets need right to your door.
They ship all your favorite brands of dog food, cat food, litter, toys, and treats, all at amazing prices. Start saving today. Plus, you get fast, free shipping. With Chewy.com, you don't have to break a sweat or the bank.
Save 20% on your first order and get fast, free shipping. Shop online at Chewy.com.
When you rent a car on Turo, you're renting from a real person. No shuttle rides, no waiting in line, and no wandering a car lot. This is better than your typical car rental. This is Turo. Download the app today.
Attention parents of children with cerebral palsy. If you suspect a medical mistake may have occurred at or near the time of birth, call Science and Kirk for a free legal consultation.
Call 1-800-336-5513. That's 1-800-336-5513.
Well, it's the dream final here. Djokovic and Federer, both with history to chase today. Roger, his 8th title here. No one else has more than 4 Cincinnati titles, by the way. It's Mats Wilander.
Yeah, Wilander won 4 in the 80s, I believe, all of them.
Gilbert interrupted that run of Swedes that used to win every year, but in '89.
Yeah, got a Swede in the final, Edberg, and then he just took me to the woodshed the next year. It's incredible the miles per hour difference we're seeing already on Djokovic's second serve. 105. We didn't see any second serves like that against Cilic. And to me, his motion looks a lot like it did in 215. Now it's just a matter of being aggressive on it. And we did see him hit a 129 this week early in the tournament. That's the biggest serve I've seen him hit in years.
changeup first serve hit at 81.
I think he's lengthened also his swing a little bit from what we saw at the start of the year when he went to that real abbreviated motion. You see it's getting a little bit longer, halfway back to what it used to be now, which means he's got the confidence back in that elbow. See him drop that racket head like he used to, Brad, on that serve?
Yep, it's looking a lot more similar to what it used to be. He's never had a bomb serve, but he's had a very accurate serve, and I thought during his run when he held all four, I thought he had an amazing second serve and boldness on big points.
Boldness is called for today. Very early, but he's averaging in triple digits on second serves. That's more than he typically does, and way more than he was at some other matches this week.
Yeah, we saw him against Raonic and Cilic, some 69s, 71s, 73s, and most of them under 85. And Roger playing close to the baseline on returns. Chris, a good sign. We've seen Roger really struggle this tournament with his return. He's already putting more in play.
Aaron Vida, after about a year away from the camp, asked by Novak to return. Already that's been a successful partnership for the second time. It's also playing at a little bit faster tempo. We saw Djokovic really throughout the week really flirt. Did get a couple time warnings when that serve clock went down from 25 to 0. He was often serving at 3 or 2 seconds left on it, but a quicker tempo today.
That one was at 7. When I watch Roger, he's playing no huddle, spread. I mean, and he's never going to the huddle. Darren, I think that has to put pressure on you mentally, that how quickly that he plays. I mean, he's never getting lower than 15 on the serve clock.
It's very true, but I think for Novak today, it looks like he's got total clarity, and sometimes that helps when you know exactly what you need to do and the game plan's going to be. He knows he has to play aggressive tennis and go for the second serve more against Roger, and that helps sometimes with the composure as well.
Often it's been lacking in Novak this year, and especially this week.
He's been super grumpy on the court.
Hasn't the play been up and down? His camp has been puzzled. They don't know what to expect from set to set. But today, as you said, looks like his old self.
Both guys look dialed in. And there's the first look that Djokovic shot to his camp. It's almost like, pay attention.
I saw that look a couple of times today.
Hey, I feel for you, buddy. You're putting in the double time.
You did everything you could, Coach. Sometimes the fuel tank really is empty. Federer does have that serving rhythm which he knows he will need. Holds the love back in front 3-2.
Give me a racket and watch me go. Because I won't come back the same.
Sometimes I'll come back with scratches and scrapes.
Or with stories of great shots and close shaves.
Of wins for the history books. And of losses I'll never forget. But watch me smile.
Say good game. And put my racket away for now, but not for good.
Because I'll have seen what I can do.
And I know greatness
is waiting.
Sign up with Net Generation, official youth tennis of the USTA.
care where your dreams take you, wherever you want to go. We are told to dream big, but first, we must dream little.
The Little League World Series continues through August 26th on the networks of ESPN.
A couple young Fed fans here. If you'd like to help kids get involved in playing this great sport, please visit netgeneration.com, the USTA's initiative to get youth tennis going. Well, this is just a beautiful scene. 11,500 folks in here and not many empty seats, and none of them are unsold. This is highly anticipated match, really all around the tennis world today.
Yeah, all eyes on tennis on this match today. John Barrett told you last night there would be a full house. It would be a stunner if there wasn't. There's probably 6,000 Fed hats in the stands.
I'm told they sold 10,000 of those RF hats here this week. Sold out.
I'm surprised they didn't sell more.
Well, they sold out. They probably could have.
Darren, Roger's return looks much cleaner. Are you seeing any adjustment from what we've seen so far this week?
Not really. You know, I just think he struggled a little bit the other night with the lights. And speaking to Mary Jo Fernandez after the match, he's just not seeing the ball as well as he used to as a youngster in the lights. No problem so far today.
It's John Barrett, Chairman, President, CEO, Western and Southern. Always a great commitment to continue to make this tournament bigger and better, more enjoyable for players and fans every year.
It's absolutely phenomenal how much they've improved this place since I came here in the early 80s.
Sure is.
In this crowd, folks from all over the place, dozens of states. This is the biggest event in the Midwest all year. Many people plan their vacations around it. They make the pilgrimage to watch these stars, and they are delighted to see these two guys on the court today.
Both with laser focus, and I liked how Djokovic is going after Roger's forehand, and that's the way you're going to make progress against him on this type of court.
He's overhitting a lot. Now, Roger, despite his great success here, did tell us last night that he feels it's very difficult to play a high level of tennis in Cincinnati. The court is lightning quick. The balls fly. He says it's difficult to control the ball. So the solution is try to play quick and the points quickly.
Yeah, well, he plays uber aggressive, and then that's why we're 6 games in 20 minutes. And we're seeing that all tournament. But can I put in the question box for 219? Let's slow down the court then dramatically. That is just beautiful, aggressive first ball tennis.
But Roger can make adjustments on the forehand. He can play with a little more spin to control the speed of the court and the ball with the forehand, but he struggles to play with more spin on the backhand.
One of those points, because I looked up at the serve clock and it was at 21. You're supposed to play to the server's pace, but that puts pressure on you how quickly he gets points off.
Well, it is within the rights of Djokovic to try to slow it down. The server's pace, but only a reasonable pace. There's plenty of time between these points, but sometimes after Roger hits an ace or a quick point, he's back up there, and the returner can't say, whoa. Let's give me a couple seconds. Not many do. Out of respect for him or whatever. I mean, everybody talks about how the high tempo is uncomfortable. It goes by in a blur.
That's big reason for it.
It's long again. He's lost control of the forehand quite frequently here going for big forehands, but already 7 errors off that side.
Well, he needs to be aggressive, and I'm noticing Novak has a bigger pace on his second serve and his ground strokes today than what we've seen.
Yeah,
he's up the ante.
More margin on that forehand as well, playing with a lot more spin.
And Roger's ability to hit spots with not the biggest serve and get free points is just incredible. That was just 117. Darren, that's the kind of point Novak's got to win when they get in an extended rally.
Kind of point that Federer knows he needs to win too. He gave himself a come on after that.
Could be about 4 different languages that come on. The LA. What is it? The Chumzi. He does that one too.
Some Swiss German that comes in.
Yeah. I got them all.
Off-speed second serve, and Djokovic hurried Federer that time.
Love that return, hard down the middle.
It's amazing also how Novak's body has changed since we saw him at Indian Wells in Miami. Just looking at his legs and how much definition and muscle he's got back in those legs. And in March this year, he was skinny.
He was emaciated. I talked to his trainer. He's up probably 5 kilos. I mean, he's close to where he was in 215. So I think that's made a massive difference in his ability to play and defend from the corners.
Yeah, the whole team came back, and the first thing they said was, "You're too skinny." A lot's been made of his diet. This is uber healthy, but they felt you got to get some muscle back, get some beef back for the endurance, body to hold up through the season. Holds in Cincinnati. 100 right now. Yep.
The Centurion.
Djokovic breaks, and Federer's streak is snapped. Got 100 consecutive holes in Cincy. Novak leads 4-3.
I'll always treasure my Little League experience.
We want to inspire the next generation.
To be able to play in front of these kids in Williamsport, it's going to be special.
The MLB Little League Classic, Mets-Phillies, tonight at 7 on ESPN.
Now, it's time to shine. The FedEx Cup playoffs are here. These are the game on, go off playoffs. Moving on means moving all in, staying in, leaning in, getting closer to the shine. The FedEx Cup playoffs for the PGA Tour's ultimate prize begins August 23rd.
So I downloaded your new app.
Oh?
It's nice. Let you pay the general right on your phone. Or find a place to pay with cash in person. And you can check your claim status. Boom! There's your proof of insurance.
Well, we built it to do everything.
Yeah, but I wanted to do one more thing. Order more pizza.
Hey, hands off. That's mine, buddy.
Download the General app now and enter for a chance to win $50,000.
For a great low rate you can get online, go to the General and save some time.
Unbreakable in Cincy, no more. Federer very frustrated after that last game. You won't be able to hear what he said. You can lip read if you'd like. And it was heard by Damien Dumaswan, the chair, who gave Federer a warning, code violation for
That's a little bit rough, actually, Chris, because I'm sitting, what, 20, 25 feet away from Roger. I couldn't hear it because of all the crowd noise, so probably only heard by the chair umpire. Copped a code violation.
He can afford it, but the frustration is evident. Djokovic has come out laser focused and really, really effective. He better serve in a hurry here, down at 0, and they didn't call a violation.
Yeah, he wasn't even into. To me, the ball should be in the air. That was 0. The ball was in his hand, and he was still into his serve motion.
I don't know if Federer saw it. He said something to Dumassois. Unusual to have a violation on the first point of a game.
Yeah, he just laid out of his chair.
Fergus Murphy did call a violation when Djokovic was just about to toss the ball in the air and the clock reached 0. He did not appreciate that. That is the letter of the law. It's not been enforced all that often, quite that strictly.
That second serve, Chris, 110. We saw him hit some 69s at 30. That's a 41 miles an hour difference. It's incredible the pep he has in his second serve so far today. Most guys, when you have a little bit of a slow second serve, it doesn't just jump up like we're seeing today. This is more like what we saw in 2:15, 2:16 when he held all 4.
You mentioned that Djokovic has not been able to take a set off of Federer in the 3 previous meetings in the finals here. 3 of the sets were tight, 3 lopsided. He has been a devastating front runner in Masters events and finals, and here in Cincy when he has won the first set. Consolidates the break very efficiently, 5-3. See in finals and Masters events undefeated when he wins the first set. His very first, and his crowd, there's plenty of support for Djokovic.
Wow.
His very first match here at Cincy, he lost the first set, came back and won.
He's absolutely dominated today on his second serve. Hasn't lost a point. Only lost 3 serve points.
Easy.
Now, Roger's really upset with somebody in the crowd. I think somebody just yelled out something before he served that first serve in the last game. He's giving them the stare down.
It's over behind his camp, and then you've got Severin Luthi, his coach, looking back in that section. This is to the right of Federer. That is a serious rarity when Federer is bothered by something from the crowd. It's usually his opponents.
Well, if he's got 2010 vision.
How well is Djokovic playing, weathered some big shots early in the rally and then turned it around.
He's just hit the ball clean. Roger can pick out the one fan that's like rooting against him.
More than one.
Yeah, he's definitely ornery at the moment.
That's 6 aces, but the first serve percentage down at 53, and Djokovic has been able to get after his second serve a little bit. Just missed the pass. Federer holds, and now Djokovic has been coasting on serve. He'll try to close the first set.
Shop the latest tennis styles online now at Midwest Sports. Find the largest selection of tennis shoes online. Top brands, easy to shop, expert service. Run by tennis players for tennis players. Midwest Sports.
All right, did you know I was the Mommy Slam Dunk Champion?
Really?
Yes, really don't sound so surprised.
Let's see it.
Oh, you're ready. All right, here we go. Let's hear the crowd. So go to right, I go to left. Fake 'em out. Mama, go up, up, up.
She did it.
Again?
You can't avoid gravity, but United Healthcare can help you avoid financial surprises by helping you compare costs and doctor quality ratings. United Healthcare.
Shop the latest tennis styles online now at Midwest Sports. Find the largest selection of tennis shoes, apparel, and equipment. Top brands, easy to shop, expert service. Run by tennis players for tennis players. Midwest Sports.
Well, Brad, you asked what would it take for Novak to click in, to play the same way that he played against Nadal in Wimbledon when total focus was required. Well, the ultimate challenge, he calls it, Federer in Cincinnati, and the chance at a very precious and very special career milestone, and he has been his vintage best so far.
Yeah, and it started with the second serve and his boldness for going after that shot.
He has not lost his second serve point today, by the way.
It's a staggering stat, as much as he struggled with it so far this tournament. That's just absolutely gorgeous. He picked that ball off the back of the line and then just finds the backhand line. That is just a tough shot. That's how you stop Roger from running around the backhand. Play up the line. That's the shot that Roger struggled the most with this week, his backhand return, especially that probing chip.
Just superb in all categories in the opening set. And most notable. Djokovic within one set of that career Golden Masters set, winning all 9. Can Federer rally?
Shop the latest from Adidas Tennis online now at Midwest Sports. Find the best selection and lowest prices from Adidas today. Run by tennis players for tennis players. Midwest Sports.
Tennis has always been a way of life in Argentina. that never was the more clear to me than when I won the US Open in 2009. People were crazy to see me, to share a moment with me. Even now, their support keeps me going. More than anything else, I play for Argentina.
Mom, why are we going to Cincinnati?
Well, that's where the cancer experts are.
Is Norma allowed to come?
Of course he can, honey.
As the nation's #1 hospital for pediatric cancer, Cincinnati Children's knows that every child is unique. Through our expert care, advanced technology, and research, we're impacting thousands of families around the globe. Cincinnati Children's, changing the outcome together.
Shop the latest tennis styles online now at Midwest Sports. Find the largest selection of tennis shoes, apparel, and equipment. Top brands, easy to shop, expert service. Run by tennis players for tennis players. Midwest Sports.
There's a twist in the plot in the 3 previous meetings in the finals between these two. Federer, all 6 sets, 2 of the 3 in those finals, just sprinted to an easy set. But Djokovic, superb level of play, had Federer frustrated. Wonder if Fed fans remember the Dubai semi 2014. Do you know why that's noteworthy?
Because he came back.
Only time that Federer has beaten Djokovic after losing the first set to him. Federer 1-16 in those situations.
And I think it started in the first game where he put pressure on Roger's serve in the first game. And Novak is dialed in on the Roger serve.
What you just said, nobody's been able to do that.
No, he's dialed in right now. He's got...
Also for Roger, it feels like at the moment, probably for him, that there's no space on the court for him. There's no zone that he can go to where he can actually get his breath, which is unusual because normally it's the other way around. He's pressing, he's looking for angles, he's looking for power through Novak, he's playing a few slice backhands, but nothing's leaving an impression.
Yeah, you start to wonder what adjustments he's got to make early in the second set. Will he try to serve and volley a bit?
He came in behind the first ball forehand. Has been to net 9 times, Brad. Won 6 of them. Djokovic hasn't been in once in this match.
Has to find his timing on his forehand. That was even a slight miss hit on that approach.
Because Novak is just locking down his side of the court.
14. He didn't read that one. He was leaning.
Yeah, he was leaning forehand. Just took the racket and banged his arm there. Novak.
Yeah, the back of his arm.
Yeah, that was it.
Now again, the forehand, just a split second late in the swing and overcooks it.
But when Novak started to turn this rivalry around completely, that's the shot where he takes his forehand, takes Roger outside the doubles alley on the forehand. That opens up space. And I really believe to beat Roger is you have to be able to take him into the doubles alley on the deuce side of the court. Keep him away from the backhand side of the court, hitting forehands.
Federer does get a foothold in the second set. Let's take a look at the serve placement.
Yeah, and Roger, I mean, he's moving it all over the place. It's not like, okay, he's giving you one look. He's having great success when he goes down the middle. Not that good a success when he goes body. And have a look at Djoker. I mean, you're seeing nothing but 100%. I mean, deep in the box and staying away from the body. but working, and you know what the most impressive thing is? There's not that many balls. He's not hitting that many second serves. But when you see 100, 100, 100, it's like, okay, we should just drop and give him 20 for that.
8 of 9 second serve points won.
But deep in the box and much more aggressive than he's been at any point during this tournament.
It's not really the serve from Federer that's been the problem. He's still serving really well. It's the quality of return and also the first or second shot that Roger is mistiming behind the serve. That's just from the pressure that Novak is applying.
You feel like Djokovic has turned the tables. He's rushing Federer. Federer is the master at doing that to his opponent.
The only thing you wonder, will he be able to continue this boldness on a second serve for the whole match? That might have been the slowest one at 84, so that's something to keep an eye on, because 84, when we saw him against Raonic and Cilic, would have been one of his bigger ones.
But still, the return mistimed.
Yeah, that's the shot we've talked about. He's definitely struggled with the return this tournament.
Roger, not normally a very easy guy to ace, but Djokovic has got placement aces today, 4 of them.
And this is like, you're very familiar playing an opponent when you've played this many times, but 31 months since they played.
Well, he kind of made a late charge at the net and drew the error from Djokovic on the pass.
That's like one of those, no. Oh, okay, good shot. And I would imagine during that 31 months, they probably didn't go out and have any hits.
With each other?
Yeah.
Just remember that injuries are the reason why they didn't play for 31 months. Neither guy has been healthy at the same time that often. Here's Federer trying to make his push now. He's gotten to deuce. Hasn't yet been able to create a break point today.
And a couple points in a row just sneaking in.
Please.
The first break point. Djokovic got deliberate because the crowd acted out. They didn't give him a violation. The clock was to 0.
It was
before he served, but I think the crowd was making noise, and they'll make plenty of noise if Federer can break here. Sudden, Federer was able to get to deuce, and the tension arrived in the Djokovic service game. That was a timid second, popped into the net at 81, and Federer is in front.
A gift at the deuce point on a short forehand, and the question I asked at the start of the game, can he keep up the second serve? And MPH came way down.
Yeah, the scoreboard pressure made the difference.
Look for Roger to try to come forward a bit more now.
And BG, that last game, it all turned around when Novak had 40-15 and Roger made that late sneak attack to the net that kind of took Novak by surprise. It overplayed that passing shot. He's got to do more of that, be a little unpredictable.
That was one I said, no, good shot, it worked.
Fielded well, and Federer caught in an awkward position, and here come the Djokovic fans again. It's getting competitive in the crowd.
This is awesome to see. This is a phenomenal backhand. Look at that defense. Made a little too late of a break on the swing and volley, and just what a reply off the overhead. Yeah, Roger cut that swing and volley like at his shoe tips.
Djokovic, chance perhaps get the break right back.
You got the translation for that one, Brad?
Was that the Chumsy?
It definitely wasn't that. It might have been a new one. There are 3 awesome backhands there from Federer.
And a couple of those were up at his shoulders, and he busted them up the line.
That volley caught the tape and set Djokovic up for the pass. And a break point, chance to get right back on serve. Now Federer fails to stretch the lead. Double fault setting up the break point. And back on serve and set number 2.
Federer leads 2 games to 1.
This racket doesn't care who holds it. It's equality in my hands. It's not a boy thing or a girl thing. It's everything.
Give your kids a sport with a level playing field for all. Join that generation.
Woo! A lot of these flying around out here. And this amazing new space,
It's just one of the many developments in this incredible city. New parks and hotels, a revitalized downtown, strong healthcare and education. Western and Southern is committed to making Cincinnati the best place to live, work, and really enjoy life. After all, this has been home for over 130 years. Western and Southern, proud to be part of Cincinnati's strong financial future.
Just give me a racket and watch me go. Because I'll never be a sidekick or an understudy. I'll never be benched, subbed, or picked last. Because I'll be a little busy.
Leave the bench warming to your tennis bag. Join that generation.
Oh, tonight a unique event, Major League Baseball, and you got the MLB Little League Classic presented by Taco Bell from Williamsport. The Mets and the Phillies have been there throughout the day. Check it out, Little League World Series games. They'll play a regular game at 7 o'clock Eastern tonight. The coverage is going to begin at 5 Eastern with baseball tonight. Both also streaming live on the ESPN app.
What an awesome experience for those Little Leaguers.
And no, Brad, to answer your question from yesterday, the Mets and Phillies are not playing on the same field as the Little League World Series. It will not be 51-49 regular field, about 7 miles away from where the Little Leaguers play.
Some Serbian flags flying.
Yeah, there's a big Serbian population in Ohio. I think it's one of the biggest concentrations. You get Pittsburgh, Chicago, Indianapolis not too far away. So they have made the journey to support their man.
Time duration 1, Mr. Djokovic.
And there's a first. Again, it's the first point of a game. Dumassois, the clock did get to 0. Now we're going to have a conversation.
That's exactly what happened in the last game when he served. He got to 0.
When I call time, when you stand up, I press the clock, and you have 30 seconds to get ready.
Never do that. Everybody waits for several seconds for us to leave the towel, take the balls, and then come.
When you stand up, we press the clock. Both of you.
You get 30 seconds, not 25 in the first point of a game, but Novak's point is you got to towel off, you get the balls, the crowd was energized.
A question, why do you need to towel off when you came from your chair?
Okay, well.
It's the first point of the game.
It's a little harsh. It's not really, that's not really what the rule was put in for.
No.
The rule was put in to kind of slow things down in the middle of a game. Server's taking too much time.
So the next time that happens, it would be a fault.
And that's interesting because he's gotten close a few times.
15.
And this should force Novak to go a little bit quicker, but it's unusual that it didn't happen in the middle of the game.
Trying to find the serving rhythm, and that time Federer really crowded the service box, didn't get a clean hit on the return.
13.
Looking for answers out there, isn't he?
Yeah, definitely. See, Novak is at the line much faster. Just sometimes he'll bounce the ball just an excessive amount of time.
The players have an internal clock because so often he is serving it at 3-2-1. You don't want to look over at the clock when you're focused on your serve. Can you kind of feel the 20?
Yeah, absolutely. And surely he knows by the bounces of the balls that he's going through.
What a turn of events in the last few minutes as Djokovic holds at love, and the Federer momentum is stopped cold. 2-all.
Yeah, right from when he missed that backhand volley at 30-all in the previous service game that Federer had. Very makeable volley for him.
The one that hit the tape and then set the pass up. Yeah.
Yeah, and then he didn't handle the pace of the next pass, and he actually read it right.
Little bit of cloud cover now for players at both ends, so some relief from the sun.
Well, there's a certain volley play, and it took 2 really good volleys to win the point.
Very good ones.
I mean, Novak didn't make this easy. Low one there, and then watch this. Oh.
The beautiful thing.
Peppered return.
On that certain volley, after he made that first volley, I'm sure that brought a smile to the killer's face. He kept going forward. That is just an awesome return. Let's take a look at this serve and volley. Watch how he makes this low volley, stays low, but he keeps moving forward, split step, and then he's able to stab at the volley. He didn't hold his position, kept moving forward.
There's another serve and volley play, and Djokovic goes right at him, and again, you feel that's a makeable volley for him, or a tough one?
I mean,
that was tougher than the last one that he missed.
Yeah, that was lower.
Game.
The one that he missed before was up. He would think he should make that. But Novak going right at him. Interesting play.
Novak loves a target. It's hard to figure out where to come in on him. On serve, second set, with both guys chasing history in this title.
Curiosity fuels you. So when you're ready for a fulfilling new career, let your curiosity fuel that change. Grand Canyon University's online degree programs in technology make it convenient for you to achieve your dream. GCU teaches you how to plan for innovation. By applying that knowledge to today's most challenging problems, you're helping to build a better tomorrow. Find your purpose at GCU, where advanced technologies drive education. Private, Christian, affordable, and nonprofit. Visit gcu.edu.
Hi, I'm Casper.
And I'm David.
And we both had a really embarrassing problem. Sweaty hands and feet.
And we learned that it's actually a medical condition called hyperhidrosis, or excessive sweating, and that millions of Americans have it.
So we decided to make something that would help.
Carpe Antiperspirant Lotion.
It's really simple to use. Just rub in a dab and say goodbye to the sweat. So if you, like us, have suffered from sweaty hands and feet, you're the reason we made Carpe.
Try it out at carpelotion.com.
Around Labor Day, tennis lights up the Big Apple. The U.S. Open. Coverage begins Monday, August 27 on ESPN.
Just 8 days away, but a busy schedule of events before the actual Open gets started. Qualifying tournament out there. Free admission for everybody during qualifying. U.S. Open in space. They're going to play some tennis at the space station. Zero gravity. That'll be interesting conditions.
Extremely.
Arthur Ashe Kids Day is the 25th, powered by Net Generation.
I'm thinking, what tension you get up on space?
But the new Louis Armstrong. The Louis Armstrong's going to be dedicated this week. Looking forward to seeing that come into play with another roof there. Oddsmakers, by the way, say that Djokovic is the favorite to win the men's title. A slight favorite over Nadal, who is the second choice. Federer, the third choice, at 4-1. Novak's 3-1.
I feel like you can prognosticate a lot better when we see the draw on Thursday, especially what quarter Djokovic falls in. Surely the hardcore Fed fans are wanting him in the Rafa quarter, and they'll call conspiracy if he ends up in the Fed quarter.
Tennis fans calling conspiracy? I couldn't imagine such a thing.
Oh, between the Rafa camps and the Fed camps and Joker camp, lots of conspiracy theories.
Draw will be on Thursday. So just to clarify, Djokovic has secured one of those seeds in the 5 through 8, and there's an equal chance that he'll pop up in any of the 4 quarters of the draw as one of those guys in the 5 to 8 range.
And I calculated that he will go to 6 if he wins the tournament, tied with Cilic because of his more points in the slams.
Again, one of those returns, it's actually a pretty staggering stat.
Yeah, he's missed so many returns this tournament.
Yeah, if you look at the unreturned serves for Djokovic, it's up at 50. And second serves unreturned, 69%. That is a staggering figure.
And the shot that he hasn't been able to control is that probing chip return. And that's the quickness you think of the court, Darren, where he hasn't been able?
A little bit, a little bit flat-footed as well. He's not getting through it. He's not stepping up to that ball and catching it before it jumps above his shoulder. The ball's floating mostly long, so just his whole return has been off this tournament so far. It started a couple of days ago on that double up day.
Yeah, it did. He was surviving because he was holding serve comfortably. Broken once today, but if you think about it, if I told you 7 out of 10 Djokovic second serves would not come back based on what we've seen all week, you
think
never would have believed that.
In big trouble too. That's good attacking tennis. But Darren, also this is his first tournament since Wimbledon, and most players, you take this time off, you're a little bit rusty.
Yeah, well, we set a high bar for Roger, don't we? And that's right. He's actually struggling to find his timing on the return.
But I've said this all week, the most impressive thing, we can't say he's winning ugly because even when he's playing ugly, it's still beautiful. The fact that he can win when he's been struggling so mightily with his return, a little bit honorary, and he's still winning.
But it would take a lot to win today, the way Djokovic is playing.
That might be his best forehand.
Finally timed it up beautifully, didn't he?
Yeah, he got good quickness to get over there and then immediately just ripped.
Tries a 40 love serve and volley play, and he can make it consistently difficult to do that, can he, Djokovic?
That's a tough ball off the bounce. And one of the few times that you'll see Roger actually take a little bit of time and the serve clock actually get to maybe 13, 12.
And it's gotten complicated from 40 love to deuce. As a tricky overhead is another good Djokovic lob.
Phenomenal defensive lob, and then just a great reply off the overhead. Roger didn't quite do enough with it.
Huge point.
Please.
He earned it. That was another excellent defensive lob, forcing Roger to react quickly.
He's hit a bunch of overheads today.
It's a low percentage of net approaches won for Federer, barely 50.
This movement we're seeing today from Novak is off the charts again. He's making Federer play 2 or 3 shots every rally that where normally the point would be over.
And Darren, this is the weight has gotten back to, you said, stronger. He's hitting so much more potent from the corners because he has much more strength.
Again, Federer serving and volleying. Rolex game duration.
That's like a 20-minute game. That's a 20-minute game for him.
Well, the average rally length on serve in this match is actually longer on the Federer service points than it is the Djokovic, and that is unusual. Novak serves, the average rally length 4.
Relentless pressure from Novak.
That is just gorgeous. That was hit hard with a great angle on the backhand
Often
cross.
you see Federer, the player who's the most rushed on the court.
He's actually taking as long as I've seen him on the serve clock all tournament by far.
I just mean rushed in the points. Wow, that's a big miss. Went for a 104 second and missed it by a couple feet.
He totally mishit that serve.
Djokovic, the break point to inch closer to the trophy. And the pass for Djokovic, shades of yesterday's win over Cilic, earns him the break. And he's getting closer to his first title in Cincinnati.
I'm Karolina Pliskova, and I absolutely love using Torna grip. I think for sure it's one of the important things in the tennis match, in the practice. If it's slipping, it's not really good for the shot, so for me it's perfect grip. I get a great grip every time with Torna grip. Everywhere I go, I have lots of Torna grips, enough to make it to the final every tournament.
When the match is on the line, Torna grip is the choice of hundreds of touring pros.
Torna grip, the light blue grip that does not slip.
Djokovic at his best in this final. 2 insane shots in that last rally to break. Watch the return, first of all.
This is vintage Djoker. Watch him on the complete stretch, Chris, where he gets enough of the ball, immediately eyes on the ball, little split step, and then immediately balance to recover and then hit the flick pass. Incredible with his arm completely extended that he could get some pace on the ball, the little split step to recover, and then the brilliant pass. That is just gorgeous to watch.
Federer, he was camped on the line. Djokovic, the obvious place to go cross court, instead threaded the needle. That could be a crushing game for Federer to try to come back from. He led 40-love. Broken 3 times today after 100 straight holds in Cincinnati.
Got to the Centurion, and then it's been rough. But the return has just not been sharp by his standards, because he normally can put so many returns in play, but he's just had so many second serves that he's just...
And he's still crowding the box. He was close that time. He has not done what so many do, drop back, try to give himself
No, he hasn't done
more
it
time.
once.
I mean, that's not his MO, but This is not a typical return day. Should he, do you think, move back, try to gain a little time?
He tried it a couple times against Stan. He sprinted back in the middle of the serve on second serve returns.
I mean, look, he's got to find a way. He's got to break Djokovic in the next 2 service games or it's over. So if he's got any wrinkles or tricks, he's got to try to employ them now. Darren mentioned that being unpredictable can sometimes get in Novak's head. 3 years ago in the final, it was not dropping back. Wimmer was charging forward.
Yeah.
Being very unpredictable on the return in that situation, and Djokovic didn't respond well to it.
But full credit to Djokovic on the adjustment of being much more aggressive on his second serve.
Now those last 2 serves, they're good serves, 118 and 113, but that's just 2 straight misses from Roger, and we're just not used to seeing that from him, especially in these moments, not putting the ball back into the court and putting some pressure on his opponent.
Yeah, his timing, Darren, on that has just been off all tournament. And you expect him, because he's fed, he's just going to turn it on. But it's a difficult shot, and expect it to be better by New York.
Yeah, this is a massive moment also from Novak, so will nerves play a part here closing this out? Remember what he's playing for.
The 9 ball.
Djokovic within a game. 9 Masters 1000 events, 4 in North America, 4 in Europe, 1 in Asia, 5 on hard, 3 on clay. And in this modern era, since they became known as the Super 9 and then the Masters 1000, no one has claimed all 9 within their career.
So it'll be the Joker 9.
Again, Lendl did it. He won Stockholm in '89. That later became Paris indoors. So he had it in his era. But in this modern configuration, nobody's been able to do it. And he arrived here very hungry. After 5 losses in finals, he said he was driven to finally win Cincy, get that milestone. And he's getting close now.
Chris, sometimes it's not how you start the tournament, because Djokovic was a bit scratchy against Manarino and against Raonic. It's how you finish it.
Yeah, man. He's 2 points, perhaps, from finishing it here. Well, Federer has to hold here. You have to test Djokovic, make him answer that question. As Darren suggested, there is a lot on the line. He will be thinking about that. But Federer got to get out of trouble in this game first. Overrule from Dumassois and an ace.
He's had total clarity today, Chris, and no messing around with the game plan. He's known exactly the way he's had to play. He hasn't given the box the business.
No.
All focus.
Ooh, it's called long. Champions can do that. Both these guys have done that. You find the clarity, you find the A game, you deliver in the big moments. Novak just did it at Wimbledon.
Against Rafa, where he had to be at his best.
He's been at his best today here, under conditions that historically he has not really loved.
He's at the level where he needed to be against Rafa at Wimbledon, and now again he needed to step up by far what he's been all tournament, and he's doing that. This is just what we expect from him, what we used to see.
But we weren't sure what to expect. His camp, as Darren mentioned, they are enjoying today's match because this is what they expect from Novak. It's what he expects from himself, but it's been so scratchy, so up and down, so unable to maintain clarity and calm coolness throughout a whole match until today. Now one more piece of business for Djokovic to claim all 9 Masters titles.
Djokovic leads 5 games to 4.
Shop the latest from Adidas Tennis online now at Midwest Sports. Find the best selection and lowest prices from Adidas today. Run by tennis players for tennis players. Midwest Sports.
I hate to ask, but is there any chance of an upgrade?
Any chance of an upgrade?
Upgrade, pretty please. Look into my eyes.
Could be twins.
Have you thought about being a model?
Don't upgrade your seat, upgrade your airline. Fly Emirates.
Shop the latest tennis styles online now at Midwest Sports. Find the largest selection of tennis shoes online. Top brands, easy to shop, expert service. Run by tennis players for tennis players. Midwest Sports.
ESPN's presentation of the Western and Southern Open is brought to you by Western and Southern. Talk to a financial translator today. Arthur Ashe Kids Day on August 25th in New York City. Learn more at aakd.com. And Rolex, official partner of the U.S. Open.
Roger Federer has 2 missing jewels of the 9 Masters. Never won Monte Carlo and Rome. Andy Murray also 7 of 9. Nadal missing 3, has not won Miami, Shanghai, or Paris, the 2 indoors ones. Djokovic will stand alone with this achievement if he can win this game. All 9 on the resume. Plus the career slam, of course. This would be his 31st Masters title, 2 short of Nadal's record. Absolutely shocking component to this match. The Djokovic second serve has come up in quality, but Federer almost inconceivably has won 3 of the 17 second serve points
and
played.
So many of them just missed it.
time to smack that brilliant return off a soft serve.
A 78, that was probably the weakest second serve he's hit in the match, and he makes it a forehand.
Came back 17 miles per hour faster than the serve came in.
But it was the commitment to make it a forehand. It was the quick first step.
We've been building this for the last 50 years. The 2018 U.S. Open, built for glory.
And 70 days of tennis from the start of Wimbledon to the U.S. Open. And this is day 49 and a massive day. Tears of joy for Kiki Bertens as she comes from behind to beat world #1 Simona Halep for the women's championship.
Amazing effort from Kiki Bertens and the star of the day.
Novak Djokovic in a place that he considers really difficult to win against the ultimate Cincinnati champion. He will head to New York as the odds maker's favorite, and you feel the man to beat.
Yeah, and if the court is playing anywhere similar to like this, it helps him on his serve. And I thought this was an absolute step-up week for Novak, from where he started to how he finished.
Here's the Western and Southern match summary. The numbers are staggering. Left column, third one down. Second serve points won, 14 of 18 for Djokovic.
Yeah, and look at the 39 unforced errors for Roger, because he felt that he had to play bigger based upon how Novak was hitting the ball consistently. And I just think it was a brilliant performance from Novak.
You know, Cincinnati completes the set of 9. The other 8 he's won at least twice. Put that into perspective historically, what it means in the conversation of all-time greats.
Anytime you do something that you're the first, you stand alone. Anybody does it after is the second to do it. It's just an awesome achievement.
Well, we hope you've enjoyed our coverage throughout the week from Mason, Ohio, and here on Championship Sunday, the Connecticut Open and the Winston-Salem Open for the women and the men, the final week of the U.S. Open Series. And then we are with you from New York for the year's final major, a week from tomorrow at noon Eastern time on ESPN. For Darren, Brad, Pam, and Patrick, I'm Chris Fowler. So long from Mason, Ohio, and we'll see you next week.
New ESPN app, now with ESPN Plus. Get more ESPN and download now. ESPN Plus is sponsored by American Express.
This is SportsCenter.
Just over a week from the U.S. Open. Nothing weak today from Djokovic. What his win might mean for his chances at the year's final major. From those two to these two. Why the news was very good for Wentz and Foles today at the Eagles training camp. And we go to Williamsport to find out why one team in tonight's Little League Classic might be baseball's best turnaround story. That and more on SportsCenter. We'll get to Zion here in just 1 second, but we mentioned the tennis. Career match number 46 between two of the greatest to ever pick up a racket. Welcome to SportsCenter, and maybe welcome to a U.S. Open rematch, the final major of the year, starting in Queens a little over a week from tomorrow on ESPN. Let's run through the latest edition, times 46, and our big number is 43. 43 matches, in fact, before Djoker won his first Western and Southern Open. The most matches without a title of any player. Fed had been 7-0 in the finals. Can you believe this guy's never won this event despite being in the finals multiple times? He's now won 31 trophies at the Masters level, second only to Rafa. Can he continue his winning ways, though, at the Open, which I mentioned kicks off a week from tomorrow? Djokovic currently the favorite according to the odds makers in Vegas. Djokovic already a two-time winner of the U.S. Open, most recently in 2015. Full highlights and reaction from Djokovic is on the way tonight here on SportsCenter in the Battle of the Titans. I mean Battle of the Titans, I meant Federer and Djokovic. But how about the Astros and the Athletics? Can you believe those hash marks? The Astros are 10 games up when we last blinked, but the A's are red hot, looking for the sweep in Oakland. Can they actually wake up tomorrow in first place in this division? Let's find out. We are tied at 4. Evan Gattis, no gloves, no problem. Gone, solo blast. Stros take a 5-4 lead. Oh, just over the outstretched arms, and boy, do they need a win in the worst possible way. And then Stros got a little distance up 6-4. Gattis at bat, Sean Kelly pitching. Gattis calls timeout. Kelly's pitch, well, he wasn't able to stop, even though Gattis was. Take another look. You can see he's got a call in for time, gets a little crazy. Next pitch, Kelly gets Gattis to strike out, but the Stros are in good shape, and boy, they could use one. Otherwise, the A's will be in first place if they can rally. How about the Dodgers and the Mariners, with Clayton Kershaw coming off his best start of the season against San Diego on Monday? Both of these teams division dreaming or wild card dreaming. Bellinger to bring home 2. And just like that, the Dodgers, who are basically 2 out right now, the wild card spot with their entire roster, their payroll, adding Machado, and they're on the outside looking in. Later in the inning, Kike Hernandez. He's going to do a ton of damage in this game. That one to the gap, and the Dodgers take a 3-0 lead in Seattle. And then Yasiel Puig goes the other way. Another couple come in. You think Clayton Kershaw is going to be able to make this thing stand up? Dodgers score 5 in the first, and then it's Kike again. He is some sort of player. The Mariners need a breather. Man, it's 7-1, and they just keep on loading. 8-1 Los Angeles, and they look like they're on their way to a win. Game of the day so far. Pirates, Cubs, NL Central showdown. Schwarber at the plate, and that is gone. Now, this was definitely not the biggest home run hit in this game, but it was the first, and it made it 1-0 for the Cubs over the Pirates. In the 6th, Polanco is at the plate. Dickerson is designs on getting home, and he's going to come in because Polanco's going to put that in right. Starling Marte is going to be held up at 3rd, and just like that, that's your equalizing run for the Pirates, who tie it at 1. In the 7th, Marte at the plate. This to left. Newman rounds 3rd, and this is going to be a play at the plate, and he is meat. And we're tied at 1. Great rally, great throw. We go to the 9th. We're still knotted at 1 apiece. Cubs got Quintana starting today. He really struggled. In his last start was good today. They don't struggle here. The 4-9-3 DP in the 11th. Walk-off time. Frazier, gone. Pirates win 2-1. That's the Major League Scoop. For the little guys, here's Michael Eaves in Williams Sports.
All right, Zubin, thank you so much. SportsCenter on the road, confidently presented by